Thanks for joining us, Lee, today. How are you, alright?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
No worries at all. Do you want to start by telling us a bit about yourself and Melu?
Yes, absolutely. So Melu is a managed live chat company. We started it 3.5 years ago. We provide live chat to our clients via their websites, and we have a team of operators that are here in the UK that handle that for them.
Okay, brilliant. Tell me a bit about where it started and how it all came about and how Melu was sort of founded.
It happened really quickly. We were offered the chance of starting a new managed live chat business in America, and we're actually invited to go and move out to Orlando to do that.
That's nice.
Very nice. It was very tempting, but at the time our kids were, I think they were like 8 and 6, so they're just getting settled at school, so it just didn't work for us. I'd been running a web design business for about 17 years to that point, and just fancied something new and different to kind of get my teeth into. So in the end we said, we want to do it, but can we do it here in the UK? The market for managed live chat was very different, not very popular, not very big in this country. So we suggested it, and the guy that offered us the opportunity said, yeah, let's do it. So all of a sudden we were funded, we had a business, and off we went.
And did you find there was a need for managed live chat from the website business you had prior? Was it obvious at that point for you?
It was obvious for websites that are trying to generate more business, so putting money into things like lead generation, Google Ads, SEO, that sort of stuff. Anyone that was trying to generate more traffic, ideal for live chat. I mean, it's almost a no-brainer, and it still is now. 3.5 years on, it's almost like it's the missing link between driving people to your website, having a great website, and then converting more. We built loads of websites for people where they were almost doing it to tick the box to say we've got a website, and of course that didn't really get them very far because they didn't have the traffic.
Yeah. So
for most of the clients we had in the web business, the live chat maybe wouldn't have been great for them, but the client base we have now, nearly all of them have got a budget on marketing the website, driving traffic, and therefore they get a lot out of their live chat.
It's such an important addition to have to your website, and I think what's really interesting about Melu itself, which we've spoken about before, is it's managed live chat. So talk to me about, everyone knows you get bot generated live chats as well. Talk to me about the difference between a managed live chat and sort of what advantages that has over a robot bot generated live chat.
Sure. Having a real person there is the key thing. So any live chat on any website, if it's got a human being behind it, it's going to have such a good effect on the visitor's experience and their journey. So actually, I would recommend every business have live chat, and the best way of doing it would be to do it themselves. They know their business, they know their client base, they know how to sell what they do. The problem is most businesses can't afford to do it because of the infrastructure and having the resources to do it. So they either will put a chatbot on there to say, well, we've got live chat, there it is, or they don't use it at all. And in a way, both of those are missed opportunities because visitors want to talk to someone in that moment, and they want to talk to a real person. So that's where Melu comes in, that's where the managed live chat comes in. Think of it like someone answering your telephones when you're busy. Lots of businesses do that day in, day out, yet on their websites, they're relying on people contacting them either by phone or by email or whatever.
Just about being a little bit proactive and actually sort of making it easier for the customer to make a decision or just help them with what they came onto the site for.
Absolutely, yeah. It's giving the visitor the option. It's doing what's best for them, not necessarily what's best for you as the business owner.
Yeah.
Running live chat with people is expensive if you do it internally. You've got to hire people, or people have got to do it as part of their other job. So imagine you're trying to sit through a client meeting and someone's coming in on a live chat and you're like, oh, hang on a second, phone out, and you're trying to answer a chat.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
No.
So who's going to get neglected in that little scenario? It'll be the person on the website, and their impression then of that business is, oh, that didn't work, there's no one there.
Well, I think it's a mistake a lot of businesses make, I don't know what you think about it, is they think about themselves but not about the client. Now, one thing that we try and do is make sure the client's journey is as easy as possibly can be. Now, if the client's leaving a message on a, let's say, robot-generated live chat, what is the average time? Do you know that sort of time when people come back to them? Because I can imagine, for example, if I've got a busy day, and my team have a busy day, it could be left there for a few hours. We spoke to businesses before, actually, who have an inbox. When we've actually gone in and looked at their lead generation strategy, they had an inbox, it was a solicitor's firm, and they were like, where are our web leads going? They didn't know. And we found his inbox and it had over 400 unread messages.
Oh my goodness.
You know, over the space of 3-4 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, surely you see that a lot.
Yeah, so obviously getting someone in that moment with a human operated live chat is great, but then that lead needs to be followed up. So if someone comes onto the website, I need whatever it is, XYZ, it's imperative that the business can follow that up. And of course, if you're busy, it's tough, but that's a new lead, that's new business. If you're trying to manage that live chat yourself as well, you might be able to answer the question in that moment, but actually getting them into your funnel is the best thing, because then you can talk to them, you can convert them and build up that relationship. And that all starts on the live chat. Putting a bot there that says, do you want this or this? And actually you want something else. Instantly you can't get what you want. And your only option then is the phone. And I think that's the biggest thing here. It's a lot of people don't want to call, or they can't call because they're too busy. They're in the middle of something, they're trying to find something else out, and they can't pick up the phone.
I think it's interesting what you say about not calling. So obviously, as you know, that's what we do, one of our main services. It's interesting, isn't it, how many people you speak to just generally within your friends. They'd much rather put an email inquiry in or write a message on the website. But for me personally, I'm looking for the quickest answer as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And even if that means if I can't find what I'm looking for on a website, I reckon maybe 5-6 seconds and I'm straight back off. So I guess one of the biggest advantages of Melu Live Chat is, of course, you're probably reducing the bounce rate on many websites as well. Do you want to talk me through that a bit?
Yeah, so again, this is, you're driving traffic to the website and you want people to, absorb your content and learn about your business and ultimately buy something from you. If they can't find what they want in that moment, as you say, you get a high bounce rate. But when the live chat is there and you get a little invite that comes up and says, hi, how can I help? They're going to think, oh, okay, I can actually speak to someone. And you'll be amazed at how many of our chats start with, are you a real person? Or are you a bot? And when we say we're a real person, straight away, they're talking to you. And that's invaluable, even from the bounce rate side of things, getting that insight as to what your customer wants, because they're going to talk, whereas normally they would bounce, and you don't know what's gone wrong with this.
Yeah.
So it does help with the bounce rate, and it just helps with engagement.
I think from experience, I was on Bare Minerals, if you've heard of them before. They're a beauty product. I was on their website a few weeks ago getting someone a present, and what they wanted was discontinued. Okay. So I couldn't find it anywhere, and I was thinking, what's going on? So I went on the live chat because they popped up, and I thought, okay, let's hope it's not a bot. No word of a lie, within 2.5 minutes, the service is so good. This operator found me the link for the right tone, the right substance, right product within their range, and said this is the upgraded version. There you go, bang. Within 10 minutes, I've purchased it off their site and gone. Now, if they had a bot generated, chat, if I was saying to them, it looks like it's been discontinued, I think he wouldn't even know what answer to give me.
Exactly.
And worse, if they didn't have a live chat or a chat at all, I wouldn't have purchased anything.
Would you have gone somewhere else?
Yeah, 100%. And
exactly.
They would have lost the sale. And I think now that they've not just one sale, they've got now the future of this person's purchases, because they know that the product is still there, it's just changed brand.
Yeah.
So talking about the kind of businesses that use Melu, and I think I want to start with, rather than let's look at industry, if you could highlight maybe the 3 key reasons people use Melu or people come to you. What are the 3 pain points?
It is mostly lead generation, so it's mostly converting visitors into potential clients. So we work with a lot of, I'll mention the industries, but the reason they do it. So accountants, law firms, estate agents, and then e-commerce. So the main reasons is to sell. So people go onto an accountant's website or a law firm's website for a very specific reason. They don't just happen to be browsing it and wondering what they want, like you would if you went onto Amazon or their Minerals website. It's very specific. So when the live chat comes up, they don't have to worry about, should I find if this company can do what I want? They'll just ask on live chat. And they'll get an instant response, and that then turns into a more positive experience. So when we say, can we take your details, we'll get one of our solicitors to call you, 9 times out of 10 you get the details. Whereas if you just had a form on the site saying, send us an inquiry, or even the telephone number, they've got to go through that process and either not know if they're going to hear back if it's a form, or take the time to make a phone call, which in that moment they might not want to do. So it's very much lead gen there. And from the e-commerce side, so again using the Ben Minerals example, it's about helping people check out. You know, a lot of people are on the site, they put stuff in their basket and they want to buy, but they might just have a little question about how long is this going to take, or can I get next day delivery? It's 3 in the afternoon, can I get next day delivery? And if you answer that question, they check out. If you don't, do they check out? Or do they leave and think, oh, I'll come back later, and then eventually go to another site? So it's about not missing opportunities. So it's lead gen plus maximising everything that you're doing to get people there in the first place.
And I think in those first few industries you mentioned, it also shows an evolution. So if you look at a generic accountant, a generic solicitor, I think that the landscape for them has changed. You know, many disagree, but I think the days of, you know, your accountant will come out to see you for a pre-meeting before you sign up with them in their pinstripe suit and their tie. I mean, I know loads of great accountants locally now who, you know, they're not like that.
Yeah.
So I think having that live chat on your site would show evolution to a more broader target market.
Yeah.
And I think specifically, especially in those industries, they're evolving so quickly now. Are you seeing people coming to you and talk to you about sort of modernising the business and actually offering services that are easy for their clientele to purchase?
Absolutely. So accountants are a great example. So a lot of the ones that are moving forward are doing things like monthly retained clients as opposed to having like a one-off fee per year. They're not charging per hour. They're not looking at timesheets and stuff and saying, oh, we did 35 minutes for you this month, we're going to charge you extra. It is a fixed amount every month, and they do what you need as a business. And to learn about what you are and how you operate, a lot of them now are taking to things like Calendly to book meetings. You get like an initial 15-minute, half an hour consultation. And actually we're helping facilitate that because our operators will use whichever system they're using to try and book someone in via live chat.
And I think the problem with just chucking out a Calendly link, I don't know what you think, if I'm trying to purchase someone's service and it's a Calendly link, why should I have to do the work?
Exactly.
I almost find it a little bit blasé. It's like, right, you don't have enough time to organise a meeting with me.
Yeah.
I could be a potential customer. So from the customer service route, it falls away a little bit.
It does look like that, and I have that when I send it to people. Like if I'm struggling to get a time that they're suitable, I'll just say, well, look, alternatively, here's a link, organise it. And every time I send it, I think to myself, am I coming across like I'm more important than you?
Yeah.
And therefore, you need to book with me because I'm so great. And you know, but it works. You're giving someone another option. You know, I sent one to someone just yesterday, and they replied and said, actually, I can do 2 o'clock this afternoon. So we didn't need Calendly, we got it booked. But having our operators actually go through that process and say, the next time is tomorrow at 2, would you like to book that? Then the client knows that's in the diary, and also it means that the visitor will also get that diary entry.
Yeah.
And it makes it harder for them to cancel it, so it's almost confirming that it's going to happen.
It's not a million miles off our call answering service. So a lot of our clients provide us with their Calendly.
Yeah.
But the difference, I guess, with the live chat and the call answering service is we are still booking it for them.
Yes.
They just don't see that we have access to a calendar of someone else's. What I'm trying to say is, well, if you just chuck a Calendly out there, how is that perceived? Whereas if one of your, guy at the contact centre or myself, my team, they can actually say, look, we're free at this time, how does that sound? Yeah. Once again, you're making the customer feel important, and you're allowing them to pick a time that works for them,
exactly.
But you're still organising it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of live chat and call answering services, having a sort of PA service that can assist your business.
Yeah, well, we frame ourselves often as an online reception. So, you know, if you ring a company and you go through to reception or to an answering company that are looking after it, it's still someone looking after your journey. They're answering quickly. They might be able to answer your questions in that moment, but they will most certainly direct you to somebody. That's all essentially we're doing on your website, but it's a real person. And from the visitor's point of view, they very often don't realise that it's a third party doing it, as in Melu. Just like when you ring someone and they say, hi, this is your lead machine. They don't know that it's not someone here or someone in a call centre somewhere because they're handling your call. And therefore you're getting a really good service at any time of the day. And that's what a lot of companies don't do, which is why having the live chat instantly puts you ahead of your competitors if they don't have it.
Yeah.
Because you're putting yourself out there to look after your potential clients.
And how do you ensure that level of service from within your team. So if I was to come to you with my business, Lee, we already use Melu, but if we were to use it, do you want to talk me through the setup process and how that works and the ease of setting something like this up?
Yes, so it's a very easy process. Our operators work from what we call an FAQs document, and it's just a cloud doc that has an initial bit of scripting, which is what does the client need when we're having a conversation with someone. And it's normally name, email address, phone number, but it might be that they want to know where they're based, they might want to know their company name, so it's that sort of stuff. Then the rest of the document is the questions that visitors are likely to ask and the answer that we would need to give. And it's always going to have the top level stuff. Like imagine if I started working for your lead machine, you would do like an onboarding where I know what times you're open, your phone number, kind of what your code of ethics are, that sort of stuff. We have all that covered as well, but then we have these prime questions that people ask. And we do that for the clients, so they don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
When we first started, we used to send new clients basically a blank FAQs document, and it was almost like hitting a brick wall at that point because they almost are so close to their own business, they weren't sure what to put down.
And once again, you're asking them to do so much.
Exactly.
But the service is meant to be easy, right?
Exactly. So we do it now, and in doing that, we learn about the business really well because we use their website to learn about them. And it also shows if the website maybe has some problems in that maybe it doesn't convey what they do very well, because if we can't understand it from the website, how are their clients, potential visitors, going to understand it? So actually we've helped people change the language on their website from that process, but also from what they see from the chats. If you've got someone coming on saying, I'm confused, do you do this? And that's your primary service, obviously something's wrong. So we can feed that back to the client. But back onto the onboarding, we do the FAQs, the client goes over those and can make any amendments. As soon as they're happy with that, 2 lines of code go on the website and we're live. Very simple process.
In terms of anyone watching this thinking that it might be a little bit hard to sign up, and once you do sign up, the integration part will probably scare a lot of people that are techie. Do you want to just talk about the WordPress integration plugin that you have and any other plugins just to make it easy so people understand that process? Yeah,
so it is just 2 lines of code, so it's very easy just to hand that to a web developer and they can put that in. I mean, we've added it to plenty of sites on behalf of our clients and can vouch that it takes 60 seconds. We also do have a WordPress plugin, as you've mentioned, which is literally just install, activate, add a product key, hit enter, and off it goes.
And off it goes.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, that sounds really easy to use. So that tells us a bit about Melu. And we're going to move on to the next part of this conversation, which is the lead generation roulette.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to spin the roulette wheel 6 times. We've got a list of 36 random questions to do with lead generation. Okay. And then I want you to specifically answer them in relation to Melu, alright?
Gotcha.
So whenever you're ready.
So I'm going to spin the ball first.
Yeah.
I'm going to spin the... I know this wheel is going to go round. I'm going to wait a little bit. There we go. Oh, it stopped. There we go. 22.
22, Lee. So, when implementing a new lead generation strategy, what is your process? How do you go about that?
Okay, so just recently we started using Sales Navigator, and we went through a process with yourself. You helped us set that up, so it was a case of, it's going to sound like that was a loaded kind of question.
Yeah,
that was.
I can promise that there is a random list of questions here.
So it was a case of, I think from our point of view with that is it's expectation. It's very easy to think that there's like a silver bullet that will get you lots of leads and will help your business grow. Everything takes time and takes effort. So we're putting a lot of effort into our LinkedIn process. Sales Navigator, finding the right clients for us rather than just blanket everyone. You know, a website has got to in itself be a good website, a well thought out website, and it's got to have traffic. So we're looking for people in the industries we already work in, but also that have that look to them. You know, it's hard to say how much traffic they've got because there's nothing out there that will give you an exact number. But we know who we can target. And so we're going through the step-by-step process on a weekly basis, and it's about sticking to it. I think that's my biggest...
I think it's the foundation to any great marketing campaigns. It's demographic.
Yeah.
You can't do anything until you have a demographic right.
Exactly.
Brilliant. Whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay, next one. I'm not going to spin it as hard this time. That's a good one. 29. 29. How many leads do you generate a month on average at Melu? So we track, we have some targets and we track what comes through, and on average we've got about 20 a month that we are working on, and as a business we need to convert 8 of them onto, well, we need to convert 10 of them onto a trial, 8 of them onto paying, so an 80% conversion rate. So we only need about 20 a month, realistically, to go the way we want to go for the next 3 years. But of course, if we got 40, that'd be great. If we got 100,
accelerate it.
Fantastic, yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Next win.
I think I'm getting quite good at this now. I could go and work in Vegas. 35.
35. So, is there a celebration in the office when a lead is converted to a sale? What's the process? How does that work at the Melu office?
Do you know what? There isn't. And now you've said it, I'm kind of feeling bad that there isn't, and there should be. Because of the way we work, the first win is to get someone on a trial.
Yeah.
It's to sign up. But the next part is getting them onto the website. Because we've got quite a few people that have signed up and that actually getting live is difficult. So that's almost a win, just getting them live. And then after a 2-week trial, you then get them onto a paid account. But because we have a rolling 30-day contract, it's month on month.
Of course.
So the celebrations are pretty much just keeping clients on there, keeping them happy. So we could do a few little kind of, I don't know, I'm thinking kind of a party popper thing.
Wolf of Wall Street-esque. Not quite that far.
We're getting people to shave their heads.
Yeah.
10 grand.
Maybe the HR department might have a bit of a problem with that as well.
Probably would. But yeah, no, I think we should do something for sure. I mean, we did just, literally last week, we won our biggest earning client so far. And they've eclipsed anything we've done with anyone in the past. So that's a big win, but we haven't celebrated it yet, so I have to think something cool for that.
Soon to come. Whenever you're ready.
Cool.
Number 4 then.
Number 4. Keep spinning, keep steady. 9.
Number 9. What digital marketing strategies work best for you, and which channels in particular?
So I'm going to go back to LinkedIn because we have had, part of the reason why we're using Sales Navigator from that previous answer was because we've had a couple of people say that they found us or they found something that was on LinkedIn that was maybe 6 months old. And it seems to me like that's something that just needs constant effort and constant consistency with putting stuff out. Now, we've been guilty actually over the last kind of 6 to 9 months of not putting a huge amount on there. But it's because we're trying to work out a strategy to do it and then keep doing it. Because it might be something we put out tomorrow, is seen by someone at the end of the year and gets them on board. So we're doing a series of videos with our clients, which is like an interview kind of Q&A, so that they can tell the viewer their experience with Melu. Because at the end of the day, what we want people to do is sign up for a trial.
Yeah.
They'll only know if it works by trying it. And at the end of that trial, if it doesn't work, well, no question, we'll remove it, that's fine. So LinkedIn, video, that's definitely our strategy for the foreseeable.
And do you allocate hours a week to LinkedIn?
Yes.
I know a lot of people sort of use it as and when, which I don't think is a great strategy.
No,
so
it's not.
Talk us through your time management with LinkedIn.
Yeah, so we were very much like that. So this time last year, we went through a process of trying to post every day, and not just once. So we created a huge amount of content, and then posted it every day, kind of like a 10 a.m. and a 2 p.m. And our business coach saw that later on, so we created it before we started working with him, and he actually just said, look, it's great, but you're just putting stuff out for the sake of it. So now we're much more targeted, and it is Monday, 2 hours to build up a list. And again, this is stuff that you taught us actually, it's that getting those 90 connections a week. I need to say a month, we want more than 90 a month. And just following up, it's that process of Monday, connect with them, Tuesday, check in. If anyone accepts their invite, send them that first message, that sort of stuff. It's just keeping on top of it.
Yeah, because sometimes things can get busy and we can forget. And I think that's the biggest mistake a lot of people make. They leave their lead generation behind, and come month end again, they're flapping because they haven't generated those leads.
And it's very easy when you then, maybe someone you were chasing for a couple of months then signs up. Yeah. You focus on that and you almost think, well, I've got that, that's good, that's come in. But you're not thinking of the leads that are potentially going to be coming in 2 months' time. It's keeping that, it's the funnel, isn't it? It's keeping everything coming in at the top.
Can't have any part not performing.
Exactly.
That's brilliant. So, number 5?
Number 5. Oh, don't spin that first.
Number 19. So what are the different channels that you currently use to lead generate?
So
you mentioned LinkedIn.
The next big one I think is going to be YouTube. So where we're doing these video interviews, these Q&A sessions, they are going to go straight onto YouTube initially, and then we'll almost distribute them in a kind of strategic fashion from there. So I'm not expecting people to just go and find us on YouTube at the moment, because our channel isn't very well utilised, but it will be. And it will get to the point where there's enough content on there that someone could sit, for a good couple of hours and watch videos about other businesses' experiences, because I think that's the biggest thing for us. Live chat is almost an unknown. I mentioned to you before, if I met someone and said, do you want live chat on your website? They're likely going to say no, and it's because they don't know what it brings. But if I said, I've got something that can get you an extra 20 leads a month that goes on your website, would you be interested? They'd probably say yes. And then I say, okay, it's live chat. They go, oh, cool. So it's about the messaging. So I'm trying not to push this as live chat. It's more of, this is what this brings.
Yes.
And how it's facilitated. It almost is the kind of the bottom of the importance. It's what it brings you.
Okay, great.
So YouTube for sure.
Do you see that progressing into YouTube paid ads?
Yeah.
Because I know you mentioned it to me when we last spoke, which was quite a while ago. Do you want to explain? I'm completely inexperienced in that field, so I'll go with.
So this is the funny thing. We've got an idea of putting video together for a YouTube ad that's going to target American companies, because we've got more clients in America now than we've ever had, and we're starting to try and get more from there. And they do respond differently to the messaging. Like here, to say that a message here could fall on deaf ears, but then be really picked up by America. So we want to try it, but we don't have a budget for this video, so we're going to do it completely in-house. And for anyone who's watching this, that go and find the video ad for Dollar Shave Club. Okay. It's probably about 10, 11 years old now. Yeah. But I mean, they sold to a bigger company for like billions, and they did this one video that went viral, and it made them. It just absolutely made them. And it was a pretty, I'm not going to like underplay it saying it's homemade, but it was pretty low budget, but they just nailed it. It was the CEO was just talking, it was funny. And we want to play on that with YouTube. I think the big thing with American companies is that they do outsource their live chat at different times of the day, and the quality isn't consistent. Whereas with us, we're UK based, all our operators are UK based, even at 2 in the morning, the quality stays the same. And America seems to be liking that. So we're almost going to play on it. And have like an operator sat in front of a computer like, with a cup of tea and pinky up to really tell you, we're British, that sort of thing.
Play on the culture.
Yeah, because Americans speak English, and what they're getting a lot of the time is a service that's great during the day, and then it turns into a different language or something where the operator isn't English in their first language, and the quality drops. So we're trying to play on that. Okay. And so it's going to be fun. We don't want anything serious, anything corporate. If it doesn't make us laugh, it's not going to work.
So she'll look out for the Melu Ad 2022.
Oh my god, it should be. I've storyboarded some of it, but it's just about pulling it off. You have an idea in your head, but then when you come to film it, whether that will convey in that, like, what I think is really funny. I'll be sat there like a dad joke, laughing, and it's like tumbleweed across the floor. Like, that isn't funny. So we've got that challenge. We haven't started yet, but it's going to be this year.
Brilliant, look forward to seeing that. And
I'm going to put it so it's only for Americans, so hopefully no one sees it unless you VPN in.
I'll have to just send a message and send it over, please. So your 6th and final spin, Lee.
Oh, this is a big one. $29. We've had that one. Oh my gosh.
Already.
Oh, I'd be quids in if I was in the casino right now.
Yeah, I know.
16?
16. So we spoke about it very briefly. So I want you to, in 30 seconds, tell me why someone should use Melu.
Okay, someone should use Melu because they're getting people on their website that need help, that need support from a real person. And unless there's live chat there that's managed by a human being, they can't have that. Their only options are the telephone, which might not be accessible to them at that moment in time, and they might need something straight away, especially if they're shopping. If they can't find what they want, they go back to Google and hit the next result. So live chat will convert more business.
That message is simple. Live chat will convert more business.
It will.
Tried, tested and proven.
Yeah, and if you can do it yourself, absolutely do it. And The results we've had from clients that have had live chat in the past, where they've tried to manage it themselves and then they've used us because they couldn't manage it, they already know it works. It's like the telephone problem. Who's going to answer that phone when it rings? You've got to answer it.
Of course.
But who's answering it? Same with the live chat. And I think that means people don't use it because they feel they can't do it. But by all means try it and do it yourself. And if you struggle with it, that's where Melu comes in.
And if not, 30-day free trial?
Yeah, it's 14 days.
14 days.
We can edit that out, can't we?
The 2-week free trial. To test it, just to see if it works, because what have people got to lose?
Well, exactly. There's no risk involved. We don't take any payment details. The service is exactly what you would get. It's not like you get a lesser service because it's a trial. We need to impress you in that 14 days to show you that we can do the job. So we put a lot of effort into every single trial, as if you're a paying client. Because when you see it working, it's almost a no-brainer.
Great. So thanks for answering those questions.
No problem.
Join us. I want one last word from you, okay? So any budding entrepreneur, business owner, startup, in terms of lead generation, what is your number one tip to someone starting out?
I would say that it's about partnerships are a good thing. We've touched on this before, where you can spend a lot of time trying to sell, but if you partner with people that are in similar industries where you can your services kind of work together, that can work wonders because you've got more people on your side. So if you're starting out a business and you've absolutely got nothing to begin with, partner up and you'll start seeing leads come through. Because
they'll already have an existing book of clients.
Exactly, and you're filling a need that they can't fill, and they want to add value. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing here. We all want to add value. We can recommend services like yours to our clients because they use us because they want more leads, so we're part of that mix. And likewise, a company that's doing, say, SEO or pay-per-click advertising, it's all about getting visitors to the site, and we help convert. So for us, that's how we...
So number one tip, build partnerships.
Build really good partnerships.
You'll see some progression. Brilliant. Thanks for joining me today, Lee. It's been great speaking about Melu. And look forward to seeing the future of Melu and that YouTube ad as well, hopefully one day.
Yes, I'll make sure it's fully polished before you get to see it.
Brilliant. Cheers.